base hits fifth. Shortstop Vivi Martinez bats sixth. It'll be Hannah Wells seventh, and designated player JC Nichols at third base bats eighth, and then in right field batting ninth is Ashton Maloney. Pitching matchup, a couple of seniors. The right-hander, 6'1" tall from Harrisburg, South Dakota, is Emily Boyer for Ole Miss, and she goes against the Longhorns. 5'11" righty from Stanford, Texas, Sitlali Gutierrez. Umpires Frederick Ewald behind the plate, Mark Brown at first base, Michael Hernandez at third. This has been the Texas Softball pregame show. We'll be right back with the first pitch. Longhorn softball continues in a moment. Plate of their SEC schedule here in 2026 with a hard-fought 3-1 win over the Ole Miss Rebels. Now it's time for game two between these two teams and the second weekend of SEC play. Both teams in different directions so far. Ole Miss 0-4 in the SEC, the Longhorns 4-0. But as the score yesterday showed, anything can happen. Good afternoon from Red and Charlene McCombs Field. I'm Andrew Haynes. The Texas Longhorns, number 3 in the country in the two major polls, and trying to build their resume to be one of the top seeds in the NCAA regionals, super regionals, and Women's College World Series in a couple of months. Taking on this Ole Miss team that last year made their first ever Women's College World Series. Came into the season with high hopes and have been having an up and down season so far. Sitlali Gutierrez, the start for Texas. The 5'11" righty from Stanford, Texas, winds, and her first pitch misses off the outside. Ball one to Taylor Malvin. We're underway at 12:03 here in Austin. Temperature about 73 degrees, partly cloudy skies, sunny on the field. Malvin followed by Mackenzie Perkins. Percy Yamas, the 1-0, is over the outer half. That's a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gutierrez. Sitlali 5-0 with a 1.59 ERA. This is just her 4th start, 7th appearance, 22 innings, 17 hits. Gutierrez has walked 5, struck out 13. Opponent sitting 207 against her. The next pitch, a drop ball over the outer half, is called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Malvin, hitting .346, 3 doubles, 22 runs, 13 runs batted in. The infield backs up a step against this speedster. The 1-2 pitch. Low and away, ball 2. 2-2 from Gutierrez. Longhorns defensively have Reese Atwood behind the plate, Katie Stewart at first. Leanne Good, the second baseman. Shortstop is Vivi Martinez with J.C. Nichols at third. Kaya Altmaier, Caden Henry, Ashton Maloney in the outfield from left to right. 2-2 pitch in the dirt outside, and the count full on Malvin. And Gutierrez, after getting ahead 1-2, has seen this one go full. Opening the ball game. Left-handed batter Malvin standing at the back edge of the box with an open stance. 3-2 pitch. Chops it high on the infield. Charging Vivi Martinez. Grabs it behind the circle. Fires a little bit high to first base, but Katie Stewart there able to bring it down just before the runner hits the bag. And the Longhorns get out number 1 to open the ball game. 6-3 is how this one gets underway. So Mackenzie Pickens now the hitter. Pickens provided the offense yesterday for Ole Miss, hitting a home run in the 6th inning against Tegan Cavan. The only run they scored. First pitch is low to Pickens for ball 1. Gutierrez, a senior, has had a very good career, entered this season 34-9 with a 2.17 ERA. One more win will be her 40th of her career. Here's the 1-0. It's over but low, 2-0 on Pickens, who has 7 home runs, hitting .321, 25 runs batted in. Gutierrez, a member of the Mexican national team last summer. 2-0 pitch, sails up and away, ball 3. Back in 2023, a Big 12 all-freshman team selection. First teamer in the Big 12 in 2024. Was a preseason all-SEC last year. Had a bit of a rocky season, 3-0. Over the inner half, it's a called strike 1. 3-1 on Pickens. Gutierrez, last year, 10-1 with a 2.56 ERA in 82 innings. Struck out 69, walked 34. 3 balls, 1 strike the count. Curveball catches the front corner on the outside. And the count now 3-2. 3-2 on Pickens. Gutierrez winds, deals. Just misses the knees, a tad low, ball 4. So full counts to each of the first 2 batters. And Gutierrez got an out, now walks 1. Zitlali has a much better walk rate this year than she did last year. Her sophomore year was her best walk rate, walked 19 in 93 innings. 11-2 with a 2.03 ERA that year. Percy Yamas, left-handed slugger, takes the first pitch over the outside corner for a called strike. Zitlali faced this Ole Miss team last year in the SEC tournament. The game the Longhorns and the Rebels got into a close battle in the late innings. The 0-1 off the outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Texas, that was in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament. The first game the Longhorns played there, getting a top 4 seed and a double bye into the quarterfinals. Here's the 1-1. Popped up on an off-speed pitch, right side. Leanne Good drifting in slowly. The second baseman reaches up and hauls it in, and that's out number 2. The Longhorns in that game scored 4 in the first inning, allowed 1 in the 4th, Tegan Cavan starting, and then scored 2 in the bottom of the 4th, and Texas had a 6-1 lead going to the 5th. Cavan allowed 5 runs, all of them earned, and it was a 6-6 tie as they went to the bottom of the 7th inning. Texas was able to walk it off on a Mia Scott double over the center fielder's head. Gutierrez pitched the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Got all 3 outs in the 5th and then the final 2 innings. First pitch low and away to Maddie George, 1-0. To the local from Leander. Gutierrez misses low and away, 2-0. So Lally got the win in that one. Ended up being her final win of the season. 3 shutout innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, struck out 2. Against, to be fair, an Ole Miss team that's very different than this roster is, as she finds the outside corner at the knees just barely. And the count now 2-1. Ole Miss, a lot of turnover. Returned 9 letter winners, lost 14, 16 newcomers on this roster. 2-1. Off speed, swing and a miss. George way out in front. And the count now 2-2. No score. Runner on first in the top of the first inning with 2 out. Maddie George, the home run leader for the Rebels with 8. Tied for the team lead with 26 RBI. 2-2 pitch. Reaches out, pokes it high in the air to right field. Maloney drifts in, now backing up as that one carried. And she stops about 10 feet short of the warning track and puts it away for out number 3. So Gutierrez issues a 1-out walk, been able to strand the runner on first base. And there's no score as we go to the bottom of the first. Texas softball continues in a moment. Thank you. Bottom of the first inning, the Texas Longhorns able to hold the Ole Miss Rebels off the scoreboard in the top half. And now the Longhorns send up Caden Henry, Leanne Good, and Kaya Altmaier against the right-hander Emily Boyer. Boyer, a senior, 6'1" righty from Harrisburg, South Dakota. And she was in Division II her first 3 seasons. Boyer, last season's National Division II Player of the Year, according to the NFCA. That was with West Texas A&M out in Canyon, Texas. South edge of Amarillo. Boyer this season has pitched very well. Transition to D1 has gone well for her, at least in the circle. 5-5 with a 2.01 ERA, 11th start, 13th appearance. Her first pitch to Caden Henry misses off the outside for ball 1. Boyer, 62 2/3 innings, 46 hits, a 205 opponent average, 22 walks, 56 strikeouts. Corners in, middle infield, a step or 2 in against Henry. 1-0 over the plate, but low. 2 balls, no strikes from Boyer. Boyer was a two-way threat, two-way standout, a Shohei Ohtani of NCAA Division II softball last year. As the 2-0 is over the heart of the plate, called strike 1. Henry briefly showed bunt, pulled it back. Boyer last year was 28-4 in the circle for West Texas A&M. 2.40 ERA, struck out 236 batters and 183 2/3 innings. Here's the 2-1. Way upstairs. Ball 3. She also hit .467 with 11 doubles, 22 home runs, 59 runs, 90 runs batted in. Has mainly been a pitcher, though, for Ole Miss this year, as Henry shoots the next pitch foul down the left field line. Out of play. And the count 3-2. Boyer has had 4 at-bats. Just 6 plate appearances for Ole Miss. 0 for 4 at the plate when she's had a chance to swing the bat with a couple of strikeouts. Right. Pitching very well. Here's the payoff pitch. Soft line drive right back to the circle. Boyer at 6-1, able to haul it in. Looked like that was ticketed for center field. But Boyer able to reach up and grab it. And that's out number 1. Henry retired. Here's Leanne Good. Good, the senior, hitting .473, 5 doubles, 4 home runs. First pitch is up and away for ball 1. No score between Texas and Ole Miss. Second game of this 3-game SEC series. The 1-0. This is off the outside. 2 balls and no strikes. The Longhorns next weekend have their SEC bye. They'll play the home and home with Baylor here at McCombs on Friday and up in Waco on Saturday. 2-0. Good showing bunt. Takes it on the inside for a called strike. 2-1 now on Leanne. 5'7" senior out of San Antonio. 26 runs scored, second on the team. 2-1. Off speed from Boyer, sails high for ball 3. Boyer, a 3-time Lone Star Conference first team selection at West Texas A&M. Swing and a miss by Good on the 3-1. The count goes full. Both pitchers in this game starting the first 2 hitters with full counts. Caden Henry lined out in the 3-2. Boyer ready here. The payoff to Good. Slapped foul into the netting right side. Boyer, second team D2 All-American in 2024. Last year, obviously the Lone Star Conference Pitcher of the Year and Player of the Year. Double-digit home runs all 3 seasons as a hitter. ERAs in the 2s as a pitcher all 3 years. 3-2 again on the ground sharply to the shortstop Reisner. She shuffles to her left, scoops it up, and throws to first in time, out number 2. 2 down in the bottom of the first, no score. And it brings up Kaya Altmaier. Defensively, Ole Miss has Kennedy Bunker behind the plate, Percy Yamas at first base. Mackenzie Pickens is the second baseman. Shortstop, Cassie Reisner just made that play. And at third base, it's Ryan Starr to start the game, at least. Outfield, Tenley Grisham in left. Center fielder is Taylor Melvin, and then Maddie George in right as the first pitch to Altmaier. Misses off the outside for ball 1. Kaya taps it off the end of the bat. Foul over to Mike White in the third base coach's box. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count on Altmaier. Ole Miss using the same defense that they did against Altmaier in the final couple of bats yesterday. 3 on the right side of the infield. The third baseman right next to the circle. As Boyer misses low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. This third baseman, Starr, is playing much closer to the circle, at least when the pitch comes home, than Thompson, who took over for Starr in the lineup and defensively in the third. 2-1 pitch, Altmaier, off speed, lifts it off the end of the bat, drifting back out of play, foul. That squares it up 2-2. Now with 2 strikes, Starr backs up almost to a typical shortstop position as the only player on the left side of the infield. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Fouled back by Altmaier. And it remains 2-2. Kaya hitting .438, 4 doubles and a triple. 19 batted in. She has scored 12 runs. Boyer working from the middle of the rubber. The 2-2 pitch. Foul tip held by the catcher Bunker, and that is out number 3. Longhorns go down 1-2-3 here in the first inning against Boyer. And there's no score as we go to the second. Texas softball continues in a moment. Thank you.
Hooker's Community Heroes, together with Truist recognizes Longhorn teams and student athletes for doing good in their community. And this season, with each home run our softball heroes hit, Truist will donate $100 to the Developing Neighborhood Athletes Fund, benefiting youth sports. As of today's game, the Longhorns have hit 40 home runs, raising $4,000 for the DNA Fund.
Top of the second inning, no score between Texas and Ole Miss. The Longhorns out on the field behind the right-hander Lali Gutierrez, who set down the Rebels, working around a 1-out walk in the first inning. Gutierrez got off to a bit of a slow start this year. This is only her 7th game. And First game against Nebraska, first game of the season, as the first pitch is fouled by the right-handed batting Cassie Reisner. Pitch upstairs. That one caught a piece of Reese Atwood, the plate umpire Frederick Ewald walking the ball back to Gutierrez in the circle to give Reese a moment. Silali in the opener. The 15-10 win against Nebraska went 3 in the third innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, walked 2, struck out 2. And got only a little bit of playing time over the next couple of weeks. Here's the 0-1. Off-speed drop, swing and a miss, strike 2. Gutierrez pitched 1 inning in a win against Abilene Christian, the home opener, on February 12th. The 0-2. Reaching out, Reisner off the end of the bat, sends a soft line drive into right field for a base hit. Oh, tough result for Gutierrez there after getting a quick 0-2. And getting Reisner off balance, he's able to reach base.
Catcher number 8, Kennedy Bunker.
Silali against Ohio State on February 13th, went 2 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run, and then 5 innings against Boise State out at Stanford on February 21st. Showing bunt, Kennedy Bunker bunts it foul behind the plate with Reisner on the move. No balls and a strike to count. Leadoff batter on base for Ole Miss. No score here in the top of the second inning. Gutierrez leans back, the 0-1. Bound it down to first. A high hop on Stewart, but she's able to corral it. And she hustles to the bag to get out number 1. Reisner up to second base. So a productive out for Bunker. 1 down with a runner in scoring position. Here's Taylor Roman. Silali against Houston on February 27th. Went 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, 1 run. And then got the start in the middle game of the series last weekend against South Carolina as she misses low to Roman for ball 1. 6 shutout is how she responded. 4 hits, 2 walks, struck out 3. The Longhorns won the game 3-0. Here's the 1-0. Roman takes low and in. 2-0. Gutierrez at present, at least, the number 2 pitcher in Mike White's pitching staff. Infield back, outfield straight up, medium depth. Roman fouls the next pitch back. And they count now 2-1. Roman, the imposing 6'1" right-handed batter, crowding the plate up toward the front of the box. 2-1 pitch, low and in, ball 3. 4 years with the Louisiana program. Took 2024 off from what we could tell. Played for Jerry Glasgow, the current Texas Tech head coach with Louisiana. 3-1, ripped down the left field line. That's inside the chalk. Rolls all the way into the corner. Altmaier over to pick it up, throws all the way to second. Roman into second, drives in a run, and Ole Miss takes a 1-0 lead. Taylor Roman gets the scoring started. A 3-1 pitch. Able to pull it just fair down the left field line. Roman with her 13th RBI of the season. Ryan Starr is the one scheduled to come up in the lineup, but yesterday Ole Miss sent Grace Thompson to the plate in this situation. They started Starr at third base, and then Thompson took over in the batter's box and played third base the rest of the way. So Grace Thompson indeed taking over here. Left-handed batter, 1 out, runner on second, 1-0 Ole Miss here in the second inning. Gutierrez first pitch misses high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Lally to the plate. This is low and away. 2 balls, no strikes on Thompson. There's a strike. 2-1 now the count. The pitch. At the top of the zone, called strike 2. Thompson batting .255. 4 doubles, 2 home runs, 11 RBI. This early switch in the games with her and Starr appears to be a new thing. Thompson before yesterday had started every game in which she'd played. High drop ball, stays upstairs, 3-2 from Gutierrez. Zilali winds, payoff pitch. Off speed, tapped foul up the first base line. And the count remains full. Outfield straight up, medium depth, the infield back. Another 3-2 pitch. Ringer up, a called strike 3 with a backdoor curve on the outside corner. A big second out for Gutierrez here in the second inning. First strikeout of the game for the senior. And looks like there will be another pinch hitter for Ole Miss. The on-deck hitter Grisham went back into the dugout. And it's going to be the pitcher, Emily Boyer, getting a chance to hit. As mentioned, Boyer, a standout with the bat in D2, in addition to pitching. But this year, only 0 for 4 at the plate with a walk, a hit by pitch, 2 Ks.
Now batting, pitcher number 7, Emily Boyer.
So Ole Miss taking out a slapper, putting in someone with more pop, trying to get that run in from second. They lead 1-0 here in the top of the second inning. Gutierrez with 2 out, first pitch. Popped up by Boyer, but that'll drift back out of play. No balls and a strike. Boyer, .467 average with West Texas A&M last year, 11 doubles, 22 home runs. Hit .324 2 years ago, 17 bombs. 15 homers as a freshman, the 0-1. Called strike 2 at the knees on the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. Infield back, outfield straight up, medium depth. Gutierrez to the plate. In the dirt, skips away from Atwood, back to her. She snaps a throw to third base just late. That one bounced off the inside. Hit off the, not sure if it was the padding or some of the low metal railing right behind the netting. Right back to her, and she almost threw Roman out. 1-2 pitch. Bounced down toward third. Right next to the bag, it's Nichols. Grabs it, throws it, just gets the hustling Boyer for out number 3. So 1 run across for Ole Miss. Leadoff single and a 1-out double, but Zilali Gutierrez able to stem any further damage. And the Longhorns trail 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. Texas softball continues in a moment. Thank you. Hey, how's the crowd? 1-0 to the Ole Miss Rebels. Rebels, after having a couple of hitting changes in the top of the second, make some defensive switches. Emily Boyer procedurally returns to pitcher and flex spot. Remains in the circle after hitting for the number 9 hitter Grisham. Reese Atwood standing in, first pitch. Way upstairs from Boyer, ball 1. Grace Thompson, who hit for Ryan Starr, takes over for Starr at third base. And then out in left field, Taylor Malvin goes into left. There's the next pitch. Slow it away on Atwood for ball 2. Malvin moving from center to left. The left fielder, Tenley Grisham, was the one that Boyer hit for. He was center fielder. 2-0. Atwood lofts it down the right field line, slicing foul. And the count now 2-1. And in center field is Liesel Osteen, a 5'10" junior out of Simi Valley, California. Played with UCLA the past couple of years. Two balls and a strike. Atwood drives it right center field. That will be down, one hop the fence. Atwood hits the bag at first, hustling to second, slides in there. And she has a leadoff double here in the second. Reese with an extra base hit. Her 7th double of the season. And here's Katie Stewart. As Aaron Earlywine mentioned in the pregame interview, Reese just needs to get better pitches to hit, stop chasing. Stewart takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. That extra base hit for Reese, her first since March 1st, which was a double she hit against Incarnate Word. Next one, strike 2 on Stewart. No balls, 2 strikes, the count. 3 on the left side of the infield, 1 on the right side against the powerful pull-hitting Stewart. Outfield a step deeper than normal. Boyer misses low and away. 1-2 now on Katie, hitting .470. 4 doubles, 14 home runs. 36 RBI, tied with Reese Atwood for the team lead. The 1-2 reaches for a rise ball and lifts it down the right field line, back out of play. 1-2, the count remains on Stewart. Longhorns trail 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Atwood on second with no one out. Boyer, a long look in to her wristband. Offers the next pitch low in the dirt. Stewart started, the body went further than the bat. And on the appeal down to third, Michael Hernandez says no swing. He was able to hold that back enough. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count on Stewart. Boyer with the sign, deals. Stewart rips it down the left field line, that's down. Over to pick it up is Malvin. She cuts it off and holds Stewart to a single, but Atwood scores and we're tied up here in the bottom of the second. So the Longhorns immediately swing the bat a little better against the right-hander Boyer than the top 3 did in the first inning. Atwood a double, Stewart a long single. 37th RBI for Stewart, taking the team lead from Atwood. Now Vivi Martinez. Longhorns, by the way, in this one wearing all burnt orange head to toe. Helmets and visors. Jersey tops, belts, pants, socks, shoes. First pitch to Martinez is low and in for ball one. Jersey tops have Texas across the front. The bold letters in white. Number on the front, lower left, number on the back, name on the back, all in white as well. 1-0. Tapped foul up the first base line. Might have hit Martinez's foot in the batter's box. In any case, it was picked up in foul territory by Yamas. 1-1 the count on the redshirt junior Martinez. Ole Miss in white tops and pants. See Rebels in script across the front in red. 1-1. Martinez a soaring fly ball to center. Osteen drifting back to the warning track and finally makes the catch just in front of the wall. That one had some carry on it. Martinez has not homered this year. That one came awfully close to her first of the year. 220 to straightaway center. That was a little over toward left center by a couple of feet. One of those that, had it been down the lines, would have been gone by plenty. But she's out, number one. Stewart remains at first base. Hannah Wells stands in, and she takes strike one rather. From the right-hander, Emily Boyer. 1-1 tie, bottom of the second. Stewart on first. Wells, the designated player. Freshman out of Coahoma, Texas. Takes low. 1-1 the count. Wells hitting .279 so far for her freshman year. 2 doubles and 4 homers. 14 batted in. 1-1. Off-speed pitch sails over the outer half. A called strike 2. J.C. Nichols on deck. Boyer reading her wristband. Long look. 1-2 pitch. Low and in. Wells started to go. Well, just barely. Wow. The catcher, Kennedy Bunkers, asking for check swings on pitches where the Longhorns are just barely taking the bat off her shoulders. That one obviously denied. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Off speed, Wells able to poke it foul. And it remains 2-2. Stewart on first with 1 down. The 2-2 coming from Boyer. The deals. Wells lifts it back and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count remains as that one rolls off the sloped roof just in front of the press box. Two and two still. Boyer deals. Just misses the outside corner. Ball 3. Bunker a little riled up on that pitch. The catcher thought that she had strike 3. 3-2 now on Wells. Payoff pitch in the dirt, ball 4. And the Longhorns have 2 on with 1 out. So now another freshman, J.C. Nichols, with a chance to drive in a run. Nichols hitting .367. Just 3 runs batted in. 3 doubles and a home run. First and second, 1 out for Texas. First pitch, right down the pipe for a called strike. 0-1 on Nichols. Ole Miss with a run in the top half. The Longhorns tying it with a double from Atwood and a single from Stewart. The 0-1. Check swing by Nichols. That pitch missed. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Outfield shifting a little bit toward the left field line. Corners in front of their bags on the infield. 1-1. Strike on the outside corner at the belt. Ball and 2 strikes from Emily Boyer to J.C. Nichols. Ashton Maloney on deck for Texas. One-two offering. Swing and a foul tip, and in and out of the glove of the catcher Bunker, who slipped and then caught it again. And the umpires are going to get together and discuss it. That should probably stand as a strikeout if we saw it right. Foul tip by Nichols. It hit the glove of Bunker, and it is indeed an out as Bunker slipped. And while falling down, the ball just popped straight in the air a couple of feet. She was able to hang on to it.
The right fielder, number 7, Ashton Maloney.
So Nichols becomes a strikeout victim. There are 2 down, and instead of Ashton Maloney, I think the Longhorns are going to put in a pinch hitter. Just like what the Rebels did in the top of this inning, with 2 out and runners scoring position, taking out a slap hitter and putting in someone with more pop. It's going to be Vic Hunter for Texas. So the junior Hunter pinch hitting for Maloney. Vic 3 for 16, has a home run, 2 RBI this year. Stewart on second, Wells on first base, with 2 out and a 1-1 tie here in the second. Boyer, first pitch. High drop ball that stays upstairs, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Hunter 5 feet 8 inches tall. A top pinch hitter 2 years ago as a freshman. The 1-0 was at the knees for a called strike. And then last year struggled a bit more. 10 career home runs, including the blast she's hit this year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boyer to the plate. Hunter down the first base line, just over the bag, fielded by the first baseman Yamas behind the bag, and she beats Hunter for out number 3. Longhorns get the 1 run to tie it with a double and a single. They strand a pair. There's 1-1 tie going to the 3rd. Texas softball continues in a moment.
For Texas in the bottom of the 2nd, 1 run, 2 hit stars, 2 left behind. Now, fans, it's time for the AGB Texas two-step competition. We have Joe and Monica, as well as Derek and Yessie. Let's see what they've got. All right, let's do it.
Andrew Haynes at Red and Charlene McCombs Field. The Texas Longhorns tied 1-1 with the Ole Miss Rebels.
It's going to be Derek and Yessie.
Lali Gutierrez facing the top of the order here after a bit of an unlucky second inning, allowing a leadoff single in an 0-2 count. It was just a soft line drive off the end of the bat, but enough to get it over the infield. And then a double down the left field line to score the run. She was able to get out of the jam with a runner on third and 2 out. Runner on second with 1 out before that. So Taylor Malvin to lead things off. First pitch, low and away. Malvin grounded out to shortstop to open the game. Malvin playing left field now. After starting in center, takes high. 2 balls, no strikes. Gutierrez, 41 pitches through 2 innings, about 20 pitches an inning. The 2-0. There's a backdoor curve, finding the outside corner, 2-1. A little bit of wind blowing out to center. The 2-1. Further away and a bit lower, ball 3. Gutierrez in the first inning went to a full count on Malvin before getting the ground out. Three and 1 pitch. Low, ball 4. And she walks the leadoff batter here in the third. Second straight inning, and Gutierrez has allowed the leadoff batter on base. Yesterday in the second, third, and fourth, Tegan Cavan allowed the leadoff hitter to reach. She was able to get out of those innings without anything scoring. Leadoff batter on, Mackenzie Pickens takes at the knees for a called strike. Perkins, rather. No, Pickens is right. Wrote down Perkins, even though it says Pickens clearly on the lineup sheet. We'll get it right. 0-1 the count on Pickens. Showing bunt. It hits the bottom of the bat, rolls backward. And the count quickly 0-2. Sophomore from Flowery Branch, Georgia. Third team All-Region last year. She hit .328, 10 doubles, and 8 home runs. Drove in 37. Gutierrez, the 0-2. Back, gets by Sitlali to the outside of the circle and picking it up on the charge. Vivi Martinez able to glove it, throw to first, and get Pickens for out number 1. Off the bat, it looked like it would be a comebacker. Had a little bit of spin, so Sitlali unable to pick it up. But Martinez sure-handed for the shortstop. Here's Percy Yamas. Runner on second. Mike White talking to the plate umpire. Looks like he's making a change in the circle. As Ole Miss gets to the meat of their order. The runner on second and 1 out. Gutierrez just induced a weak ground ball, and now she's being taken out, and White going to the bullpen for Cam Salmon. Bit of surprise. Texas tied with Ole Miss 1-1. Salmon warming up. We'll take a quick break and come right back. Texas softball continues in a moment. Pitching change for the Texas Longhorns in the top of the third inning. Mike White going to the bullpen. He brings in the right-hander Cam Selman. 5'8" sophomore from Beaumont, California, takes over for Citlali Gutierrez. Facing the left-hander Percy Llamas, and the first pitch to Llamas is off the outside, ball 1. Runner on second, Melvin taking the leadoff walk. There's 1 out. Melvin, the responsibility of Citlali Gutierrez. 1-0. Strike on the outside corner at the belt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Selman making her 9th appearance, 3rd time out of the bullpen, 3-0 with a 2.28 ERA. 27 2/3 innings, 24 hits, 8 walks, 21 strikeouts. Swing and a foul back by Llamas, and the count now 1-2. Maddie George on deck. Infield back, the outfield shaded the opposite way a couple of steps. The lefty Llamas. 1-2 offering, misses way upstairs. And the count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Selman, 2-2. Sharp ground ball to the left side. Martinez grabs it next to the bag, shuffles and fires in time. Melvin advances to third base, but now there are 2 down. A couple of 6-3 ground outs since the leadoff walk. And it's Maddie George, the leading hitter for the Rebels coming into this one. Left-handed batter. Watches the first pitch outside, ball 1. Sky-high fly ball to right field to end the first inning. George 0 for 1. Selman, the 1-0. A little bit wide, 2-0. Reese Atwood calls time to go talk with the sophomore righty. Selman last year, 7-2, 2.48 ERA in 62 innings. Struck out 66. This year, she's been a little up and down. Really, outside of Tegan Gavon, who even had a rough outing or two the opening weekend. Almost every pitcher has been rocky at times for Texas. Two balls, no strikes. With a runner on third, 2 out. The pitch, up and away, ball 3. 3-0 on Maddie George. Selman to the plate. Gets the call on the block on the outside. 3-1. Cam pitched once in the game, the series against South Carolina last weekend. There's the 3-1, outside, ball 4. She issues the 2-out walk. That puts runners on the corners. And here's Cassie Reisner. Right-handed batter started the run-scoring second with a single and a 0-2 count. Lifts it to left on the first pitch here, right at Kaya Altmaier. Drops back a couple of steps and makes the catch out, number 3. So Selman able to work around the runner in scoring position when she came in, and she strands 2. 1-1 ties. We go to the bottom of the third. Texas softball continues in a moment. Thank you. Longhorns sending the top of their order to the plate against the right-hander Emily Boyer. A 1-1 tie between Texas and the visiting Ole Miss Rebels. Kaden Henry to lead things off. Hit a line drive that Boyer snared herself to open the bottom of the first.
Texas hitter, number 21, Kaden Henry.
Henry entered the game hitting .414, 9 doubles and 3 homers. Team leading 39 runs scored. She takes the first pitch up and away, ball 1. Leanne Good, Kaya Altmaier also due up. That trio went 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. The 1-0. Right down the heart of the plate, called strike 1. Henry with 16 steals in 17 tries. Shows bunt on the next pitch, rolls it up toward third. Thompson, the third baseman, gloves it, throws just late. And Henry with a bunt opens up the third by reaching base. Kaden yesterday advanced in the first inning on what was originally ruled a passed ball. It appears that's been changed to a steal. She had a steal later in the game and shown as 2 steals on the box score yesterday. First pitch on the inside corner to Leanne Good. No balls and a strike to count. Corners creeping in. Good lays down a bunt herself. Boyer scoops it up, covering from second. The second baseman Pickens. Good nearly beat that out as Boyer kind of made a soft toss over to first base. So it goes as a 1-4 sack bunt. Leanne retired, but Henry into scoring position, and here's Kaya Altmaier. Altmaier struck out in the first inning. Put up a good battle, working the count to 6 pitches. Time called, I think, by Bunker, the catcher. No, it was a pitcher separating the hands call by the umpire, it appears. First pitch, changeup, freezes Altmaier, taken for a called strike. 1-1 tie in the bottom of the third inning. Game 2 of this 3-game set. And after that call, that pitch, Bunker calls time and goes and talks with Boyer. So Henry on second base after the sac bunt by Good. Altmaier, that strikeout in the first inning for Altmaier was only her 5th of the year. Here's the 0-1. Lines it into shallow right center field. It hits the ground. George firing in toward the plate wildly. It's up the third base line. Henry scores, and Altmaier to second. Texas with the lead. Two-1 Longhorns now with a small ball, a single, sac bunt, and another single. And now Reese Atwood with Altmaier on second base, going to second on the throw. Looked for a moment like Henry would stop at third because she took a while to watch that one, make sure it would drop and not be caught. Atwood takes the first pitch below the zone, 1 ball, no strikes. But Kaden, plenty of speed, able to motor around third and score ahead of the throw. Over but low again from Boyer, 2-0 on Atwood. Maddie George's throw also carried Bunker about 15 feet up the third base line. Henry able to cross behind Bunker as she was waiting for the throw to come in, and that allowed Altmaier to sprint around first base and take second. Time called now by Boyer. And now a visit to the circle. Nancy Evans, the second-year assistant coach for the Rebels. Evans, one of the top players in the 1990s in college softball. Played for the Arizona Wildcats. So good that her jersey was retired by Arizona. And Arizona, one of the top programs historically in college softball. 3 national championships for Arizona. Had a 124-8 overall record, a 0.98 ERA, and was the 1998 National Player of the Year. 2-time first-team All-American. Most outstanding player of the 1997 Women's College World Series. She was beaten in the final game of her career in 1998 in the national championship game. Had a chance for 4 straight. Evans back in the dugout, and the right-hander Boyer fires a strike over the outer half to Reese Atwood. Evans won it 3 years, and then her final year lost a 1-0 decision in the national championship game to Fresno State. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch off speed, and it's in at the front of the zone at the knees to Atwood, who held up. Called strike 2. Altmaier on second, 1 down. 2-1 Texas here in the bottom of the third. 2-2. Check swing. Atwood just got a piece on what looked like another off-speed pitch. Reaching out in front and staying alive. She tapped that one down into the dirt. 2-2 the count remains on the senior 6-foot-tall catcher. Slightly open stance. 2-2 pitch. Sharp from the right-hander Boyer, but off the outside, and it runs the count full. I feel like that stance is a bit of a change for Atwood. It had been a square stance, now just slightly open. Payoff pitch. Reaches down, chops it foul over toward her head coach Mike White in the third base coach's box. Still 3-2 on Atwood. Stewart on deck. Reese opened the second with a drive to right center field for a double. Maddie George playing a couple steps over toward right center now after that happened last inning. 3-2 pitch. Fly ball, left field. Back goes the left fielder Melvin. She looks up, it's gone! Atwood with a 2-run blast, and Texas leads 4-1. 228 feet for the school's all-time home run and RBI leader. 10th of the season for Atwood. And that puts her right ahead of Katie Stewart for the team RBI lead. Stewart drove Atwood in last inning to take a 37-36 lead. Now Atwood with 38. Stewart at the plate, though. First pitch over but low. Ball 1. 3 in the inning for Texas. 1 out now. The base is empty. The only out, a sac bunt. Infield back all the way around. The infield back, and 3 on the left side. Only Yamas, the first baseman, on the right side of the infield. Second pitch low and away. 2-0 on Stewart. For Atwood, that's the first home run since February 28th against St. Bonaventure. Oh, next pitch called a strike. Stewart held up. Looked like it was almost high and outside. Frederick Ewald saw it in the zone, and the count goes to 2-1. Boyer to the plate. Low, ball 3. So Reese a double and now a home run. Stewart a single in the second. 3-1. Down the pipe, a called strike 2. Katie, a little hop after that one called a strike. I think she was frustrated that she didn't swing at it. 3-2 on the right-handed batting junior. The pitch. Check swing. Did she go? She did. Off-speed pitch that missed off the outside, but Stewart unable to hold up. Mark Brown down at first base said, yep, you tried. Tried to swing. So 2 down, the base is empty for Vivi Martinez. Martinez in the second drove 1 to center, just short of the warning track. She's 0 for 1. Boyer to the plate. Low and away, ball 1. Hannah Wells on deck. 3-run frame for the Longhorns here in the third. A 4-1 advantage. Slightly open stance for Martinez, the 1-0. Low and away, 2-0 from Boyer. Boyer throwing a lot of pitches to the last couple of batters. The first 3 hitters, 2 of whom singled, 1 was a sac bunt, saw 7 total pitches in the inning. 2-0. Low and away, ball 3. And then Atwood stepped in. The home run was on the 8th pitch she saw. And Katie Stewart struck out on the 6th pitch. Both of them full counts. Martinez ahead in the count, 3-0. Low and away, ball 4. So 4-pitch walk. Martinez on first. It brings up Hannah Wells. Wells, who took a walk in the second inning, being called in by Mike White. To go have a chat. Wells, first pitch, rips it over the third baseman into left field, a base hit. Picked up there by Malvin. She fires in, holds Martinez at second, but first pitch swinging. Maybe Mike White and Aaron Earlywine were saying, hey, she's probably going to throw a strike after a 4-pitch walk. And Wells rips a single. So now 2 on again, and there are 2 out for J.C. Nichols. Nichols 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the second. Takes the first pitch low. 4-1 Texas, looking to break this game open. A chance here with 2 out. Two on. Chop toward first, though. Llamas off the bag to glove it. And she returns the bag for out number 3. Nichols retired. But the Longhorns pick up 3 runs on 4 hits. There was a walk. They strand 2. Texas up to a 4-1 lead as we go to the 4th. Longhorn softball continues in a moment. Thank
Texas fans, after today's game, head on over to the Nike Blue Ribbon Texas Athlete House located at the Yale Flagship Store on South Congress Street, Longhorn. Longhorn athlete appearances throughout the day. Nike product showcases.
Top of the fourth inning. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Ole Miss. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Texas. This somewhat rare noon start time for second game of the series. The Longhorns with 3 home series in the SEC remaining after this one. Against Texas A&M, the second game will be at 1, against Oklahoma it'll be at 7, and against Arkansas at 2. Having a noon start time for the finale is pretty typical. Oftentimes the second game of the 3-game set is early in the afternoon. Cam Salmon finished up the 3rd inning, stranding a couple of runners. Misses up and away to Kennedy Bunker for ball 1. Bunker, the left-handed batter, grounded out to first base. Enter at bat in the second. That advanced the runner who ended up scoring. 1-0. Drop ball. Ooh. Apparently just missed the knees. 2-0. Pretty good. Just a little low on Bunker. A transfer from Fresno State. She was a second-team All-Mountain West pick last year. 2-0. There's a strike at the outer half. And count now 2-1. With Salmon not allowing any more runs to score in the 3rd inning, or any runs period, after Gutierrez left with a runner on. Solali's line is closed for now. Low and in from Salmon, ball 3. Taylor Roman on deck. Solali went 2 1/3, 2 hits, 1 run it was earned. She walked 2, struck out 1. 3 balls and a strike. The pitch. Outside, ball 4, and Salmon issues the walk. A leadoff walk here in the 4th. 3rd straight inning, the Rebels have had their leadoff batter on base. So now Roman, who doubled in the second to knock in the only run so far for Ole Miss. 4-1 Texas. Strike down the middle, called strike 1. Roman got ahead 3-1 against Gutierrez, pulled it. A low line drive about halfway down the left field line, hit a couple feet in fair territory. Takes strike 2 on the inside corner. Don't think she quite agreed with that call. Quick 0-2 on the right-handed batting Roman. Salmon to the plate. Low and in this time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Grace Thompson on deck. Runner on first, no one out. 1-2 pitch. Fouled back. The count remains. The outfield shifted a couple steps toward left. Medium depth. Infield back. 1-2 pitch. Sharp ground ball left side, just past the reach of Nichols and into left field. So Roman down in the count, able to reach base, and the first 2 are on for Ole Miss. Somewhat similar Roman to Cassie Reisner leading off in the 2nd inning. Fell behind 0-2 and singled to start the run-scoring rally. Roman here able to poke 1 foul, stay alive. Salmon unable to retire the batter. Runner at first base for Roman, Alexa Rosales, 5'6" junior out of Chino Hills, California. 2 on, no one out
21, Grace Thompson.
for Ole Miss here in the fourth. 4-1 Texas. Grace Thompson now the hitter. Thompson struck out looking against Gutierrez her first time. That was the first pitch foul over the third base dugout into the top of the stands, and a young lady with her glove makes the grab. Nice play there. No balls, 1 strike. Just missing the outside, 1-1. Ball and a strike, the count on the left-handed batting Thompson. Salmon trying to get an out. 2 on, no one out. The 1-1. Lifted in the air to left. Circling, Altmaier now shading her eyes against the sun, makes the grab. A big first out for Salmon. And now we'll see Emily Boyer bat again. Right-handed batting, 6'1" senior, has been pitching this game. She was sent up to pinch hit in the bottom of the second inning with 2 out and a runner on second. It was a wild pitch during her at bat. She ended up grounding out to third base to end the inning. First and second, 1 down, and Salmon fires the first pitch. Misses, I guess, outside. Ball 1. 1-0 on Boyer. At the back edge of the box, open stance. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Salmon going upstairs. 1-1 now the count. Top of the order, Melvin on deck. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. And the count now 1-2. Bunker on second. Rosales on first base. 1 out. Salmon 1-2. Up and away. Boyer not chasing this time. Two and 2 now. Outfield straight up, medium depth, infield back. Salmon deals. Hopped up. First base side. Infield fly called as Katie Stewart comes over and makes the catch. About 10 feet outside the circle. A couple of outs in the air. The runners had to stay put. And now the top of the order. Malvin. The left-handed batter 0 for 1 with a walk. First and second, 2 down, 3-run Texas lead here in the top of the fourth. Salmon misses way upstairs, ball 1. Cam started the inning walking Kennedy Bunker. Allowed a 1-2 base hit to Taylor Roman. Fly out and a pop out since then. Melvin, the 1-0. Chops to the right side, good, waiting for it. Flips quickly onto first base, and that's out number 3. So Salmon able to work through the trouble after the first 2 reached, and she strands both of them. Texas with a 4-1 lead. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Longhorn softball continues in a moment. Bottom of the fourth inning, the Texas Longhorns with a 4-1 lead over the Ole Miss Rebels. The Longhorns ready to send up the number 9 hitter, Ashton Maloney, followed by the top of the order, Caden Henry and Lee Angood against the right-hander, Emily Boyer. Maloney getting her first shot against Boyer. Ole Miss making a change or some changes, not 100% sure. It'll be a pitching change, actually. Boyer was warming up to start the inning. Well, no, not a pitching change. Another pitcher standing ready in the first base coach's box, ready to go out there. With Nancy Evans standing next to her, the pitching coach, and head coach Jamie Traxel finished up with the plate umpire Frederick Ewald, and Evans said, "All right, sending in the pitcher, right?" And Traxel said no. So the Rebels switching the outfield up. After Boyer was re-entered as a hitter. Well, it looks like into right field goes Rosales, who ran for Roman. As Maloney stands in, Boyer's first pitch is over the outside corner for a called strike. Malvin goes back to center from left. And then a new left fielder. Maloney off the end of the bat, pop fly, left center field. It's falling, and it's in there. Skips away from the center fielder, Malvin, who picks it up, fires towards second, but Maloney slides in safely. A pop-up double for Maloney to lead off the fourth. The outfield wasn't playing all that shallow, which most outfields do against Maloney, and the shortstop was playing in, which most do. And so because the outfield was playing back, shortstop Reasoner was unable to get there. Just dropped past her and in front of both outfielders charging in, so Maloney has a leadoff double. First pitch to Caden Henry, a generous called strike, just off the outside corner. That defense for Ole Miss. Rosales into right, Malvin back into center. As Henry takes outside 1-1, and then going into left field, Leilana Applin. Applin, former teammate of Citlali Gutierrez out of Stanford High School, Stanford, Texas. 1-1. Henry lifts it back and out of play. The count now 1-2. Caden 1 for 2 rather. Rips this one to left center field. That's going to hit the base of the wall and bounce back sharply to Applin. But Henry with plenty of speed rounds first and goes into second. Maloney across the plate, and the Longhorns lead 5-1. Back-to-back doubles from the 9-1 hitters. 21st run for Maloney. 26th RBI for Henry, as well as her 10th double of the year. Ties her freshman year. She had 10 doubles, 12 last year for Henry. First pitch swinging, Leanne Good fouls it back to the screen. No balls and a strike on Good with a slightly open stance. Fouled straight back. And the count 0-2. Leanne grounded to short in the first inning. Sack bunt in the third after Henry led off with a bunt hit. 5-1 Texas now. Ole Miss took the lead in the second. The Longhorns won in the second, 3 in the third, now 1 here in the fourth. No one out, a runner on second. The 0-2. Way upstairs. Ball and 2 strikes. Kaya Altmaier on deck. Boyer looking at the wristband with the sign. 1-2. Spins it off the outside. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Good. Rebels were ready with a reliever to start the inning. This is the third hitter of the inning. Back-to-back doubles. Still have not seen the reliever. 2-2. Good, a high fly ball to left. Applin drifting back to the warning track. She reaches up, it's gone! 7-1 Texas. Leanne got a high pitch. Hit a soaring drive, a wall scraper, 214 feet the estimated distance. And that will be it for Boyer as the Longhorns have opened it up here in the fourth inning. Back-to-back 3-run frames. There's still no one out here in the fourth. Pitching change for the Rebels is going to be Grayson Jordan, rather, as the new pitcher. No one out. Altmaier, Atwood, Stewart. Coming up next, we'll take a quick break. Texas softball continues in a moment. Dad played football at Ole Miss. 3 on the left side of the infield. Off speed, sails high on Altmaier, 2-0. Jordan replacing Emily Boyer. Jordan making only her 4th appearance of the season. No wins or losses, 4 2/3 innings, 2-0. Low and away, ball 3. A 9 ERA. Those 4 2/3, 8 hits, 6 runs all earned. She's walked 1, struck out 1. .30 pitch. Altmaier hits a drive, left center field. Applin drifting over, backpedals, and makes the catch well in front of the warning track. So Altmaier, the green light, trying to go opposite way, but she's retired for the first out. Boyer's day wraps up most likely with 3 innings. 3+ as she faced 3 in the 4th inning. 9 hits, 7 runs all earned. Walked 2, struck out 3. Reese Atwood now takes the first pitch way upstairs, ball 1. Atwood, a double in the 2nd against Boyer, and then a 2-run home run. That was last inning in the 3rd, batting for the 3rd straight frame here. 7-1 Texas, 1 out, bases empty in the bottom of the 4th. The 1-0 pitch. Atwood rips it into left center field. That's down, going almost to the wall, cut off on the warning track by the left fielder Applin. She fires in to hold Reese to a single. But Atwood 3 for 3, and now just a triple away from the cycle. And the Longhorns will put a runner for Atwood on first base. It'll be Adea Wallace. Wallace running for Atwood was almost a daily thing last year. It was almost like Adea was Reese's personal pinch runner. And this year, the Longhorns a little deeper. They've had a little more pinch runners, a few more to throw in there. Wallace has run for other players. And other players have run for Atwood. First pitch, Katie Stewart early and taps it foul in front of the third base dugout. Stewart 1 for 2, singled in the 2nd inning to knock in the first run of the game for Texas. And in the 3rd, she struck out in a full count. The check swing tried to hold up, just went too far. 0-1. Pitch sails high from Jordan. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jordan from Columbus, Georgia. That's where the 1996 Olympic Games softball tournament was held. The Olympics, of course, in Atlanta that year. 1-1. In the dirt, skips away from the catcher Bunker, and Wallace goes to second. U.S. getting the Summer Olympics for the first time since '96 in a couple years. 2 balls and a strike. Over but low, ball 3. The Longhorns have a couple of players who have some shots to potentially make the U.S. team. Mike White has specifically mentioned Reese Atwood as a real good possibility, and hoping that she keeps growing and improving to have a shot to make that team in 2028. 3-1. Up and away on Stewart, ball 4. So 1st and 2nd and 1 down for Hannah Wells. Of course, the Olympics in 2028 will not be held in Los Angeles. There were a few options to play it out there, including playing at baseball stadiums, which is what they did in Japan in 2021, the Tokyo Olympics. Played at a baseball stadium, at which apparently I think was actually a normal thing they do with softball out there, playing in baseball stadiums, just temporary fences. Breaking ball from Jordan on the outside corner to Vivi Martinez. I think I said Hannah Wells. It's Martinez, in fact. Batting here 1st and 2nd, 1 down. 3 across for Texas, up 7-1 in the bottom of the 4th. The 0-1, low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Martinez took a 4-pitch walk last time. And of course, LA area, you got some Major League Baseball stadiums, plenty of collegiate baseball stadiums. college softball fields, stadiums to an extent. 1-1. Martinez grounds it up the middle, picked up by Pickens next to the bag at second. She steps on the bag and fires to first, and that's out number 3, a double play. Longhorns pick up 3, and they go up by 6. 7-1 as we go to the 5th. Texas in the lead. Longhorns softball continues in a moment.
Attention Longhorn fans interested in furthering your support of Texas student athletes. Consider joining the Longhorn Foundation, which fuels champions and lasting impact in the lives of over 500 Texas student athletes. Scan the QR code now and see how you can make a difference today. Your Texas softball team is back for the final game of this 30-game series versus Ole Miss tomorrow at 12 p.m. right here at McCombs Field. We'll see you there.
Top of the 5th inning. Texas out to a 7-1 lead over Ole Miss in the second game of this 3-game set here in Austin. Cam Salmon returns to the circle. Right-hander to face the 2-3-4 hitters, Mackenzie Pickens, Percy Yamas, and Maddie George. Salmon in the 4th inning walked the leadoff batter, allowed a hit to the second hitter, got the next 3. And now the Longhorns have given her a little bit more of a buffer. So it's Mackenzie Pickens to lead things off. Salmon's first pitch low and away, ball 1. Pickens walked in the 1st inning and then grounded to short in the 3rd. Infield back. Outfield almost straight up. Caden Henry just a step or 2 toward right center. 1-0. Over the heart of the plate. Just below the belt, called strike. Pickens yesterday stepped up in the 6th inning against Tegan Cavan and homered to left. One. Strike 2. Finds the belt on the outside corner. Pickens it. Bit of a turn back toward the umpire after that call. I'm not sure she was all that pleased with the strike call. 1-2 pitch. Grounded toward short. On the ground, right to Martinez, who straightens up and fires late to first. Pickens up the line in a hurry and beat the throw. Martinez tapping her chest saying, hey, that's my bad. Took an extra.
Texas is challenging the ruling on the field of safe at first base. The play is under further review.
Apologies for the sound there. Umpire's mic turned on rather loud. So the Longhorns are challenging the call at first base. It was a bang-bang play. Looking at it live, not 100% sure that she was safe, but Mark Brown at first base, the umpire was sure. The calm, immediate, safe call. So Ole Miss team, some players with some surprising speed. Pickens, now, she did steal 12 bags last year. But Emily Boyer got down the line in a hurry when she batted earlier. Maddie George yesterday nearly beat out an infield hit. Some players who have some big offensive numbers you don't think would have a lot of speed, but hustling very well. On the replay, it is very, very close. They're showing on the video board here. I think the ball did just barely hit the glove of Stewart before the foot of Pickens hit the bag. If what we're seeing on the video board some 300 feet away is accurate, if we can see it clearly. Of course, they don't review the plays on site here. Birmingham, Alabama, the replay center for the SEC. They review everything there during conference play. Non-conference, it's reviewed on site. Postseason, regional, super regionals reviewed on site, and the Women's College World Series reviewed on site in Oklahoma City. The third base umpire, Michael Hernandez.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. The runner is safe. That's Texas' first challenge. They have one remaining.
Well, the call stands, and Pickens, with an infield hit, is on first base to open the fifth inning. It's just one of those that there just wasn't enough evidence to overturn it. Percy Yamas, 0 for 2, a pop out and a ground out. Takes the first pitch up and in, ball one. Talking the bottom of the fourth inning about the Olympics. And in 2028, be held at the stadium in Oklahoma City. They have the Women's College World Series every year. Salmon gets the outside corner. It's a called strike. Evens it up 1-1. The Olympics as a whole being held in Los Angeles, the 1-1. Chopper toward first. Coming over to pick it up, Stewart. She was playing behind the bag. Grabs it and then a little lunge step toward the bag for out number one. Pickens into scoring position. Three unassisted to put out, and here's Maddie George. And in the LA area, good baseball stadiums, Dodger Stadium, Angel Stadium, multiple colleges that have baseball. If you wanted to do it like the Tokyo Olympics, Maddie George, first pitch, a big cut and a miss. 0-1. College softball in the LA area, there are multiple D1 schools, not a lot of great stadiums. Cal State Fullerton has the best in that area. Not a ton of seating, though. The 0-1. This is low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. You might say UCLA, but no, that's a bandbox just shoehorned in to a tiny corner of campus. It's, I think, 190 feet all the way around for their fences at UCLA. A very small softball field with very few stands. Salmon gets the call on the inside corner on George. Pickens on second, 1 out. You're in the top of the fifth, 7-1 Texas. Salmon's 1-2. George thought about it and missed low and away. Cal State Fullerton, the best option softball-wise in the LA area. 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Salmon deals high for ball 3. Atwood held it there for an extra second or two, trying to see if Frederick Ewald would make the call. With the count now full. If you wanted to keep it somewhere near Los Angeles, and now there are, other softball fields that have stands. Payoff pitch in the dirt outside, scooped up nicely by Atwood to keep Pickens on second, but she walks George after getting ahead 1-2. Second walk in the game for Maddie George, and here's Cassie Reisner.
Shortstop number 20, Cassie Reisner.
Reisner entered the game hitting .306, 3 doubles, 4 homers, 22 RBI. First pitch up and away to Reisner, ball 1. And that will draw out Patty Ruth Taylor, the Longhorns pitching coach, making her first visit to the circle of the game. As Salmon has struggled here in the 5th inning. Should be 2 out and 1 on, but that leadoff infield hit, Martinez took just too long, slow played it. So they're 2 on and 1 out. But anyway, if you wanted to do it like Atlanta did, having the games at a bigger stadium, somewhat kind of driving distance from the host site. Columbus on the border of Georgia and Alabama. About an hour and a half from Atlanta. Next pitch lined to J.C. Nichols at third base, and we'll continue that discussion in the next inning as Nichols snares it, flips back to second to get Pickens off the bag. Good covering. A hard hit ball, but the Longhorns turn it into 2 after the visit from Patty Ruth Taylor. That happened in a hurry. So Salmon able to wriggle out of trouble here in the 5th. The 2nd straight inning she's done that. Longhorns lead 7-1 going to the bottom of the 5th. Texas softball continues in a moment. So due up. Jamie Traxel, the Ole Miss head coach, was talking to the plate umpire after the game. Might have been just a simple re-enter of a player. Not sure 100% whether there's any defensive changes yet. But Hannah Wells to lead things off, a walk and a single against the starter Emily Boyer for Wells. The first pitch of the freshman over but low, ball 1. We were talking about potential 2028 Olympic softball venues. And of course, OKC has the gigantic stadium that can host 12, 13,000 people. Can probably find a way to fit more for the Olympics, if I had to guess. The 1-0. Wells chopped toward the dugout, and it's 1-1. Other potential sites that LA might have been able to use. A couple of bigger collegiate stadiums in California. 3.5 hour drive at Fresno State. And once the crown jewel on the west coast of college softball stadiums. Hosted the biggest attendance for a single game as Wells pops the next pitch up. First base side foul territory, and now Yamas coming back toward the line, able to reach down and glove it as she crosses it over the bag. Wells did not run that one out, and it almost ended up back in fair territory. I'm sure the coaches will say something to her about that. Yeah, Fresno State built their stadium in the mid to late 90s. One of the national powerhouses at that point. As Alyssa Sneed takes the first pitch low for ball one. Had the record for highest attendance at an on-campus site. So not counting the Women's College World Series. Until the Longhorns played Oklahoma in 2023 at the Women's College World Series Stadium in the regular season. Strike to Nichols. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's Fresno State, a berm in the outfield, the grass berm you could add potentially some bleachers onto. And then you have Stanford. It's a Longhorns saw just a couple of weeks ago. Here's the 1-1. Sneed, pinch hitting, sends a soft line drive foul up the third baseline. Pinch hitting for J.C. Nichols here. It's Alyssa Sneed. Nichols was 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground out. Sneed getting a chance. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Waits on a changeup and fouls it over the right side out of play back into the stands. Sneed hitting .348 in limited playing time, 8 for 23, 3 doubles and a home run, 7 RBI. 1-2. Ropes it to third, right through the wickets of Thompson, and Sneed on first base with 1 out here in the 5th. He hit it pretty hard. Came up on Thompson, who was unable to trap it against her midsection. And so Sneed on first base, and here's Ashton Maloney. Left-handed batter, a pop-up, pop-fly double in the 4th inning to start that 3-run rally. Takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. They gave Sneed a hit on that shot down to third. Anyway, Stanford might have been a possibility. Short flight from LA to the Bay Area. Take I-5, it might be 5-ish hours. There goes Sneed, the pitch taken outside, throw sails all the way through the shortstop and second baseman into shallow right center field. Center fielder Melvin backing it up, and Alyssa Sneed has a stolen base. Third steal in 4 tries for the freshman. 2-0 the count on Maloney. 7-1 Texas with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Maloney takes low, ball 3. Stanford's revamped stadium has multiple spaces in the press box. Broadcast booths, not a huge press box. .30, up and away, 4-pitch walk to Maloney. So 2 on with 1 out for Caden Henry. Stanford Stadium. They announced the attendance at 1461 when Texas played Stanford a couple weeks ago there. Henry first pitch swinging, lifts it down the left field line, slicing foul. No. For the Olympics, of course, drawing many, many fans space-wise. The stadium in OKC, the best option, though. Takes a bit of a flight to get there from LA. It's not a true LA site for the Olympics. Here's the 0-1. In the dirt outside, smothered by Bunker. 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, I'm sure that there are people around the game who wouldn't mind another large stadium being built for softball. 1-1. Low and away. 2-1 on Henry. Henry 2 for 3, lined out in the first. Bunt single to start the 3-run rally in the third, and doubled to drive in Maloney in the 4th inning. The 2-1 pitch, low and away, ball 3. 6-run Texas lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. Sneed and Maloney, the runners. The 3-1. Henry, hot shot on the ground toward third, scooped up there by Reasoner. She goes to get the lead runner, Sneed, at third base. That's out number 2. So Henry takes first on a fielder's choice. Maloney up to second, and here's Leanne Good. 6'5", put out at third base to get Sneed. First pitch to Leanne is a strike at the knees on the outside corner, 0-1. Leanne last time up a 2-run bomb just over the wall and left. 0-1 pitch, grounded up the middle, past the dive of Reasoner into center field. Rounding third, Maloney, she'll score for the second time this game. Henry stops on second. And the Longhorns are up 8-1. So now it's Altmaier. Before Altmaier hits, catcher Kennedy Bunker goes to talk with the right-hander Grayson Jordan. Altmaier 1 for 3. Strikeout in the first. Drove in a run with a single in the third inning. That put the Longhorns in the lead. And then she flied out in the 4th inning in a 3-0 count as the first batter against this pitcher, Jordan. 2 on, 2 out. Jordan gets the call on the blackout side. 0-1 on Altmaier. Outfield a step shallower than normal. 0-1 pitch. Altmaier grounds it on the right side, scooped up by Pickens, and she hustles to the bag. Out number 3. So the Longhorns came close to ending via run roll. Had a runner on second to do that. Could not get it done. They score 1, and it's an 8-1 lead going to the 6th. Texas softball continues in a moment. Thank you. Top of the 6th inning, Texas with an 8-1 lead over Ole Miss. A close game for the first couple of frames. Ole Miss got a run in the second. Longhorns matched that inning. 3 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth for Texas. As Ole Miss has repeatedly had runners on, but has not been able to capitalize. Kennedy Bunker set to lead things off for the Rebels. She took a leadoff walk in the fourth from Cam Selman. Selman's first full inning of work.
Leading off the Rebels, catcher number 8, Kennedy Bunker.
So left-handed batting Bunker, who also grounded out back in the second. Takes the first pitch low, ball 1. Selman came on in the third inning after Zitlali Gutierrez walked the leadoff batter, but then got a weak ground out. Selman got a ground out, walked one, and then the fly out to end that inning. The 1-0. There's a strike over the outer half. In the fourth, Bunker walked to lead off. Taylor Roman singled the left in a 1-2 count. Some trouble for Selman, but she got 3 straight outs to end that frame. 1-1 pitch here. In tight, Bunker spinning out of the way. It's 2-1. And in the fifth inning, a leadoff infield hit. One of those where if it had been called the other way, the call probably would have stood on the review as well. There's a strike, 2-2. And a ground out, a walk, and a line drive double play. Though some traffic against Selman every inning. Two balls, 2 strikes. Way upstairs. The count goes full. Selman winds the payoff pitch. Foul back. Longhorns pitchers have not turned in a 1-2-3 inning this entire game. And only in 1 inning has there been only 1 base runner total. Another 3-2. Reached out, driven to left. Back goes Altmaier. She gets to the warning track and reaches up, makes the catch. Bunker giving that a ride. 3-2 pitch. Left-handed batter. Out number 1. First time since the first inning that the Longhorns have retired the leadoff batter. And here's Taylor Roman. Roman re-entering. Hit here as a designated player. Fouls the first pitch back, 0-1. Started the game as the designated player, doubled in a run in the second. The only run so far for the Rebels. Singled in the fourth inning, was removed for a pinch runner, Alexa Rosales. And then Rosales stayed in the game, went out to play the outfield. And now Roman re-entered, 0-1. Popped up, floats back out of play, on top of the press box. And it comes down in a bare hand grab. My gentleman just in front of us. Count now 0-2 on Taylor Roman. Dad Mark played in the NFL. Her mom ran track at LSU. Seventh year of college for Roman. The 0-2. Swinging a cue shot. Foul spinning over in front of the first base dugout. Died finally right next to the on-deck circle. Katie Stewart going over to pick it up. No balls, 2 strikes. The count remains on Roman. Salmon to the plate. Oh, goodbye. High drive to left. Roman hits it off a window on the grad student building on the 2nd floor, and it's an 8-2 ball game. Roman again behind in the count and able to make something happen. That's her 5th home run of the year. Absolute blast that just seemed to keep carrying and carrying. Foot 1-inch power hitter. First run charged to Salmon.
Third baseman number 21, Grace Thompson.
And now here's Grace Thompson. So Salmon, for the 2nd time, unable to put Roman away after getting ahead in the count. Thompson 0 for 2. Make it 1 for 3. A sharp line drive over Salmon and into center. 2 straight hits for the Rebels. Here's Leilana Applin. Right-handed batter. Takes the first pitch inside, ball 1. He went in and played left field an inning or 2 ago. Takes a pitch low from Salmon, low and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Applin, a junior, 5'8" right-handed batter out of Stamford, Texas. 2-0, low and in, ball 3. Same hometown and high school as the Longhorns started today, Citlali Gutierrez. Applin hitting .207. 6 for 29, 3 doubles and a homer. The transfer from Division II Angelo State. She takes high, ball 4, and Salmon is not feeling it right now. And that's going to be it for the right-hander. Mike White out of the dugout. We'll see if he re-enters Gutierrez or goes to Kavan. Not entirely sure what the player is here. No one has popped out yet. Salmon is done, and it is going to be actually Hannah Wells. Freshman will enter the game and try to stop the bleeding on this rally and keep the Longhorns up by plenty. 8-2 Texas, but 2-on-1 out for Ole Miss in the top of the 6th inning. We'll take a quick break. Texas softball continues in a moment. Thank you.
Attention please, pitching change for Texas. Number 17, Hannah Wells.
Top of the 6th inning. Ole Miss not going quietly. The Texas Longhorns with an 8-2 lead. The bottom of the order for the Rebels. A home run, sharp single, and a 4-pitch walk. And now Hannah Wells enters for Texas. The 6-foot-tall freshman out of Coahoma, Texas. A right-hander making her 10th appearance of the year. 3-1 with a 2.16 ERA. 22 and 2/3 innings, 17 hits. She's walked 10, struck out 21, and she faces the top of the order, Taylor Malvin, to be the first batter against Wells. First pitch, Wells fires it across the zone for a called strike. So Salmon, responsible for the 2 runners on base, allowed the solo home run with 1 out. Here in the 6th, the 0-1. Low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Actually, it's not Malvin, it's Rachel Connors at the plate. Big cut and a miss on an off speed. Malvin was 0 for 2 with a walk. Connors, a sophomore from Chandler, Arizona, left-handed batter, 5 feet 10 inches tall. Swing and a foul tip. Just got a piece to stay alive. Connors hitting .292, 7 for 24, has a double, 6 RBI. Ball and 2 strikes in the dirt, smothered by Atwood. Evens the count 2-2. Grace Thompson on second. Leilana Applin on first. Two-two pitch. Low and away, ball 3. Connors last year went 4 for 14 with a double, 3 RBI. Limited playing time as a freshman. Payoff pitch. High for ball 4. Wells had her at 1-2 and can't finish it off. The Longhorns seem to be somewhat reverting to their early season struggles in putting teams away. And now, Malvin re-enters at first base, and Mackenzie Pickens will be the hitter. Not quite a tying run at the plate situation yet, but a couple of big swings and we're right there. Bases loaded, 1 out. Pickens a walk, ground out, and then beat out an infield hit. First pitch. Outside, ball 1. 8-2, the Texas lead in the top of the 6th inning. The Longhorns in the bottom of the 5th had a runner on second and 2 out, needing just 1 run to end it via run rule. There's a breaking ball at the top of the zone, 1-1, and now the Rebels, given some new life, are making the most of it. One pitch in the dirt. Atwood keeps it at the plate. Two balls, 1 strike. Rise ball lifted back and out of play. It's now 2-2. Wells, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Pickens chasing low and in on what might have been ball 3. Wells able to come up big with a strikeout, her first of the game. That's out number 2 here in the 6th inning. Here is Percy Llamas. Llamas 0 for 3 with a pop out and 2 groundouts. Bases loaded, 2 out. First pitch skips on by Atwood, rebounds and hits the umpire. Because it shot right back toward the plate, the runner on third base, Thompson, did not try to score. So after that, a little bit wild pitch. The count goes 1-0, and Patty Ruth Taylor makes a visit to the circle to talk with Wells. Well, after this one, Mike White might be a little more back to the drawing board about who his number 2 is going to be in conference play. Number 2 pitcher behind Tegan Cavan. So Lali Gutierrez had the very good start last weekend. A little rocky second inning today, but outside of that looked pretty good. But White went to Cam Salmon in the third inning. Maybe it was more of a matchup-based thing. 1-0 from Wells. Swing and a foul tip. Held by Atwood, 1-1. Salmon walked at least one batter every inning or partial inning in which she pitched in this game. Here's the 1-1. Low and away, 2-1 on Llamas. Two balls and a strike. Swing and a miss. And the count now 2-2. Maddie George on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Fouled back to the screen. Llamas stays alive. Salmon walked 1 after coming into the third. Walking a hit in the 4th. Walking a hit in the 5th. Home run, single, and a walk here in the 6th inning. Allowed that run to score, responsible for 2 of the runners. 2-2 again from Wells. Spoiled foul down the left field line, back into the bullpen.
Everybody clap your hands.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count remains on Llamas. Wells to the plate. In the dirt outside, scooped nicely by Atwood. Count now full, so the runners will be on the move with 2 out. Three and 2. Wells, the payoff pitch. Fouled down the left field line. Hits the ground. Altmaier was chasing it, but unable to get there. Three and 2, the count remains on Llamas with George on deck. Wells again to the plate. Bounced to the left side. Up with it, Martinez floats it over to first in time. And Wells escapes the bases loaded situation. 1 run scores on the home run. Longhorns still up by 6, 8-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Texas softball continues in a moment. home half of the 6th inning. The Texas Longhorns with an 8-2 lead over the Ole Miss Rebels. Longhorns looking to finish out the game in this one, whether by run roll in this inning or defensively next inning. Doing so would give them the series win and allow them to go for the sweep tomorrow. Reese Atwood set to lead off. Katie Stewart, Vivian Martinez also due up, as the Rebels make another defensive change or multiple. Looks like it's a new right fielder. Alexa Rosales was in right field, but she was in Taylor Roman's spot in the order, so she had to come out. Roman went in and hit again and hit that home run. Atwood, a double, a home run, and a single. Needs just a triple for the cycle. 6-foot-tall catcher has 4 career triples, 3 of them coming last year. First pitch was in the dirt, ball 1. Grayson Jordan. 1-0 pitch. High fly ball to center. That's not going to be a triple. Drifting over, it's Malvin, and she makes the catch. Out number 1. And triples are hard to get. Atwood retired for the first time. And here's Katie Stewart. The new right fielder is Hope Jenkins, a 5'9" senior from Folsom, California. Stewart takes the first pitch low. 1 ball, no strikes. Katie singled in a run in the 2nd inning. Struck out in the 3rd and walked in the 4th. 8-2 Texas here in the bottom of the 6th. Right fielder Hope Jenkins, Longhorn saw her sister Grace a couple weekends ago. Grace plays for Arizona. Load away on Stewart, 2-0. Three on the left side of the infield, 1 on the right side. 2-0. In the dirt, ball 3. Vivian Martinez on deck. Three 3-0 count on the home run leader, Stewart. And she takes a 4-pitch walk. Jordan has wanted little piece, no piece of Stewart. Walked her on 5 pitches in the 4th inning, and now a 4-pitch free pass. So Vivian Martinez, 1 out, 1 on. Takes an outside corner curveball for a strike. Martinez has been on base once. A walk on 4 pitches in the 3rd from the starter, Emily Boyer. Flied out and grounded out outside of that. Next pitch pulled past the reach of Llamas at first base and somehow under the leap of Katie Stewart into right field. So Martinez with a hit. I don't know how Katie Stewart avoided that. Sharp ground ball, and Katie made a leap. Somehow got the feet out of the way. Stewart at second, Martinez on first, and here's Hannah Wells. Wells a walk and a single before popping out in the 5th. First pitch, soaring fly ball, left center field. Malvin back, looks up, goodbye, ball game. A walk-off win for the Longhorns as Wells helps her own cause as the most recent pitcher. 5th round tripper of the year for Wells. A moonshot that was too high for the tracking to get an estimated distance. And Wells ends it by run rule as the Longhorns win 11-2 over Ole Miss. Texas improves to 25-1 on the season, 5-0 in SEC play. And Ole Miss falls to 19-10 overall. They're 0-5 in the SEC. So the Longhorns ended early. We will come back and have our post-game show on the radio side here in just a moment. Texas softball continues in a moment. Thank you. All right.